sound okay with you?
Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah. You gotta check it out. We're gonna be having some real funny stuff. This is our funniest episode yet. And hey, this show gonna be fire. All of the money don't amount to you.
And I can make believe I have everything.
I'm telling 90s coochie had to be the, the cream of the crop. That's, ain't nobody singing like that no more. Listen to the music these days about the coochie that's out here walking around in 2023. Man. It don't sound the same.
I can't speak for nobody but myself. Like,
everybody be toxic and be mad, be depressed.
I feel like that's like I don't know. I feel like the culture now is so, I won't say it's all like that because it's not, but I just feel like the way we move it, like you said, like it's just like it's not the same. And I feel like everything is too accessible. Like you shouldn't just be, throwing your box up for everybody. Like
it's too accessible because it'd be low key mid. All the coochie out there be mid. She'd be like, I can travel to the next one. See, right. 90s, they wasn't talking about that. They was on bended knee.
Mm-hmm.
They was crying for you. They was out there. They was out there sliding down walls. They was out there in the middle of the desert
in the
open
rain.
Shirts.
In the rain.
They was like sliding their hand down the window while it's raining outside. That's top tier coochie. You can't make stuff like that up. Niggas don't do that stuff no more.
Bro, Carl Thomas literally drove past this woman's house mad because she got back with her husband and her child.
You know how good that coochie had to be mad that she's still with her husband?
Bruh.
Carl Thomas was the first nigga in history to say F them kids.
That sugar bowl had fentanyl in it.
The only
was addictive.
The only possible coochie out there that I think like as a whole, as a unit, as a generation of coochie. The only coochie that I think
wait, back up. A what?
A generation of coochie. The only generation of coochie that I think could surpass the 90s coochie would have been the 60s coochie. Like the 1960s coochie when they were singing. Well, let me get to that because at the end of the 60s, I feel like it was so good. That's when everybody had to start doing drugs, and that's when they messed up the 70s. You see what I'm saying? The 60s was the doo-wop era when you had like 5 niggas singing about one coochie. That's powerful coochie.
Harmonizing. You had 5 different harmonizing about Shirley on 3rd Street.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And look, they didn't get the coochie back then. They just kissed her on the cheek and they was sprung like, bruh.
You feel me? Shirley, and that was one of them niggas. He went back and told the rest of them niggas, the other 3 or 4 of them, how good it was, and they was like, nigga, we got to make a song about that. Like
we got to tell the masses about Shirley.
That is a top tier treasure box right there.
Did you say top tier treasure box?
That is a top tier treasure box.
What's wrong with you?
Triple TB right there.
But when you think about it, like, I feel like the myth that like our grandparents and our parents told us was like, oh, we weren't promiscuous back then. Like we waited till marriage. They was giving up coochie. Okay, hey. I don't know why I saw Cooley High. They was in there doing things because when I watched Cooley High, I was like, this party look a little raunchy. They were making out, but there was people in there having sex. So I was like, why they always act like, like that generation was like, oh, we waited till marriage and, we had families and, men didn't cheat. They was definitely cheating.
Oh, they was.
It was granddaddies with whole families on the other side of town.
Oh, yeah.
Down the street.
Listen, I was about to say the secret level was so high that you could have a family literally across the street and they didn't even know about each other.
And you'd be like, dang, Ray do kind of look like.
He go visit them from 1 to 4, and he go visit them from 5 to 8.
And look, he made $8 an hour. And he took care of everybody, every damn body. That's crazy. I don't understand.
It's pre-inflation.
Oh, definitely. And that's the other thing too. Is like pre-inflation, you could afford, like, you could work at a warehouse, be making, I don't know the dollar amount, but they weren't making over like 30. If you were making 30,000 back then, you was rich
Right.
for a
It was
black
at that,
person.
it was at that steel mill.
Or the what do you call it? The steel mill,
Auto plant.
auto plant, even food factories. Like, it was like, yo, you had a job working for Kellogg. You was in. Listen, Robert and Shirley, they was doing good. They had them a little house, little 2-bedroom.
They
You
bought a
know,
house for about $75.
house was 112 after tax. After tax.
Talking about my summer job paid for college. Nigga, what summer job? I
Bruh,
wish my summer job would pay for college. My summer job ain't make a dent in that tuition.
listen. I feel like when you talk about stuff then versus now, there's not a differentiation of the inflation that's happened. Just like, if the, back then most women didn't work most of the time. The men worked and the women stayed at home. You could live off one income back then. You barely can live off two incomes right now. That's why people in poly relationships, I'm like, listen, I don't knock it. Because three people, three
And
incomes,
listen,
huh?
and everybody's come to this reality or realization, I should say, but yet you still have them deniers that want to fight over the fact that people are doing 50-50. People still getting mad at other folks for doing 50-50.
I
People,
don't
there
understand.
are literally people here who logically think, or I should say illogically think, that 50-50 is bad morally. I wish I could slap every single one of these people.
Let me tell you something. If I feel like it is it's subjective, right? So, like, I can't tell somebody like, oh, you should do this. But in this economy, even if you living in the cheapest state, doing everything on your own is damn near impossible. Like, you damn near got to be living in like a 1-bedroom refrigerator box to be able to afford to
Well, here's
feed
the thing.
yourself.
Here's the thing. You can live in the cheapest states.
Mm-hmm.
However, you need to be a remote employee. You can't come with the cheapest state jobs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can live in the cheapest state, but you can't have
Mm-hmm.
the jobs from them cheapest states.
Nah,
Because if you live in the cheapest states, that means the job market there is trash. You need to
exactly.
be able to get an expensive state's job
Right.
that allows you to work remote, so you can move to a cheaper state.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only way you're gonna be able to do that by yourself. If not, you gonna need help wherever you go.
Right. Yeah, and then too, like you said, like, the and I'm not knocking, anybody's profession, but if you live in a town where the only thing that's there is like a Walmart or a gas station, it's like you're not bringing it. Yeah, your rent $600, but you making like three a week. So really, it's like you getting by. But it ain't no
Just
extra.
get
It
by.
ain't no extracurriculars. It ain't no Puerto Rico. It ain't no DR in the summer. Your vacation is you go in that other room and lay down and
We're
take a
gonna get to that in a second in a regular segment.
go in there and lay down and take a nap. We missed you guys. How long we been gone for?
A long time. You done grew your hair, got lighter and everything.
I listen. I did not get light on purpose. COVID has, as it always has, even in 2020. My legs are so white that literally I'm like, this is not okay. So, um,
Like Rachel Dozel.
I'm not that white. No, I'm not that light. I'm definitely, I wear sunscreen every day, but I'm like, I gotta find a way to get. I'm gonna be outside. I'm gonna say that now. This summer is outside time. Like, big outside, very much gonna be in the sun with sunscreen. Black people, you need to wear sunscreen every day. Don't let people tell you black people don't need sunscreen. You do. We can still get skin cancer. You can damage your skin very bad. Please wear sunscreen. Do you wear sunscreen every day?
No.
Okay, we're gonna get you some sunscreen. I'm gonna put you on.
It also depends on how light you are.
No, you need it. It doesn't matter about the melanin in your skin. You need to wear sunscreen. The sun is not good to be beaming down. even
You
if it's
need
not
certain
sunny.
types of sunscreen sometimes. You got to be
No.
careful with sunscreen too, because there's a lot of harmful products in the sunscreen. I bet the sunscreen that
Oh
you
yeah.
use actually probably got some toxins in it right now that I could pull up. But
It's I checked it out. I do my research. Okay, I'm very much into self care. So I have
oh
a
yeah, what's the
vegan
brand?
no sulfate. I just got it. I gotta look at it. I literally just bought it like 2 weeks ago. I forget the name of it, but
I
I got
bet you if I scanned it with the Yuka app, it finds some wrong
no.
with it.
It's good, and that's why my skin looks so nice. And I'm
Oh,
actually
there's a lot of stuff that's good for your skin, but then bad for you in the long run.
hey, listen, you want pretty skin or you want to live a long time? Like you can't have it all.
Mickey's
Damn.
clearly here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah.
It's like, damn, she lived till 37. I guess that's okay.
But she was happy.
But look, she looked damn good in that casket.
Oh, the casket was darker than her. How your casket gonna be dark skinned?
The casket chestnut, and I'm sitting over here looking like cold mayonnaise. It's like, why are you
Raw sienna.
vanilla sugar? Oh snap, man! But yeah, y'all, like we've been gone for a minute. I don't know how many months it's been, but it's been a year.
It's been a year, winter, summer, spring, and fall. I
With
mean,
your
should we do like the honors one time for the one time?
do what?
Should we do the honors for the one time for the one time?
What you mean?
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Good and Terrible Show. My name is Mickey.
My name. You've been drinking with me. You
I
guys
wish I was drinking.
You guys.
Her name is Mickey.
My name is Mickey.
My name is Travis. We want to welcome you to the return of the Good and Terrible Show, the long-awaited return. I know right now I'm kind of dressed like a poetic justice poetry slam nigga or something, but you know,
because the white man.
I'm missing this a set of bongos.
See, they want you to call your brother a nigga. You are not a nigga. You are a king. All you need is the one who can be like right here with the one lock. Don't just do one lock and just have it hanging right there. That shows us that you
need to step my dashiki game up, you know.
Yeah.
But man, it has been a long time. It has been a long time. We've been through a lot, in both of our lives. There's been a lot of stuff going on over the past, however long it's been. I don't even know.
Year and some change.
Exact change. Like the kind of change that like Baltimore bums be asking about.
Stop! Don't do that. See, you gonna have people be like, "What y'all talking? Don't talk about Baltimore." It's not me.
Real bums. Not. I'm not talking about your bum baby daddy from Baltimore. I'm talking about actual like homeless bums on the street.
Don't say bums.
It's the only city I've ever been to where the bums ask for exact change. This is what I'm saying.
We don't talk about unhoused people. Don't do that.
I had a nigga ask me for $4.37.
Did you?
I was like, nigga, if you just asked me for $5.
But that's all he needed. Did you give him the $4.37?
I don't even think I had cash on me that day. I might have. If I did have it, I would have gave it to him. I probably did. I don't know.
What if he said he had cash app? You would have cash app.
If you got cash app, you're not homeless. You had a cell phone.
Yeah, you could be homeless.
No, if you can afford an iPhone.
No, I didn't say it was an iPhone. It could be a burner pay as you go phone. You can still get cash app.
Not on one of them. No, not on one of them little burner page. Not on one of them Walmart phones.
It's an app store on there.
Oh my gosh!
Hey, listen, I'm in the cash app. Like I don't know cash. I never carry cash.
If you got cash app, you can put in. You got the time to put in a job application. I'm just saying.
Still waiting for the call. I'm not doing this with you anyway. I can guess what's with you. So we are talking about today what products went platinum at your granny's house. And when we say what products, one of them, which as you can see, Canada Dry is like just blatantly in our faces. I feel like and you might agree with this. I feel like all Black people, we live the same lives in different regions. Like we all use the same like products. They had the similar covers and stuff. So it's like
cultural differences there, you know, but overall a lot of us
for the most part it's like
similarities.
It's like, yeah, I had that bedspread. It's like it's so weird, it's so crazy. So I I didn't set a number. I just felt like as a conversation it would be cool because I want to see how ours cross. So I'll let you start off one of yours.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is black folks were so similar because as a culture we like what we like. You know what I mean? We have a lot more similarities and differences. And today we're shout out to Kev on stage for this topic. You know, we saw this online on Instagram. You know, he had posted this the other day, and it was something that we wanted to kind of discuss in depth to kind of see how it related in our lives. So like Mickey said, we're going to be talking about those products that you saw in your grandmama home. Everybody had one. What do you call them? Big mama, my mom, grandma, whatever you call her, Medea, you know, whatever it was. Those products that always seem to be in your grandmother's house. That if they were a way to measure, you know, if how well they sold, these products would have gone platinum.
She was dropping big dollars on them products.
Big dollars. They took all our granny's money.
That Social Security check was hitting for. She was going for the re-up with this.
It went crazy in the store for these products. The first of which, as you can see, is right behind me. I think every black person in America, maybe even the world, knows exactly what this is. And it could have been a different variety. Some had Seagrams, right? Some of them had, you know, the store brand. If your grandmama was a little cheap, she might have bought like, you know, the Walmart version or the Giant version or whatever. But the most common one that we saw was Canada Dry, and that is, of course, ginger ale, multi-purpose product. Definitely. Use it as a beverage. Use it as medicine. Use it as a healer for bad spirits, whatever they wanted to use.
A probiotic, if you have
a probiotic.
You know, you need some fiber. You need something to get the pipes greased. You know,
if you ever ran out of Vicks or Robitussin, there was always good old ginger ale
or ginger ale.
Ginger ale. And of course, it was paired with the ever famous "Go Lay Down."
Oh yeah, you had to lay down. If you drank ginger ale, you didn't lay down. You didn't complete the prescription. The label said drink at least half a can, and it had to be cold. People that drink warm ginger ale, I'm like, you're a serial killer. Why are you drinking warm soda?
I mean, if you drink ginger ale and then was wondering why you were still sick, that's the first question. Did you go lay down? Because you can't just drink the ginger ale without go lay down. If you drink the ginger ale and you didn't go lay down, no wonder you're still sick. That's your fault.
You gotta complete the steps.
But don't let them catch you laughing while you're sick, because then they know the ginger ale kicked in. You're not sick no more.
You going to school. It could be 12 o'clock. Your mom and grandma catch you laughing. Are you in there having fun? You in there enjoying life? Get your ass in there. You like, it's already third period. I don't care.
This not even platinum. This is like 3 times diamond. This is multi-platinum, multi-diamond right off the bat. This might be the biggest. Black people might have single-handedly kept this soda in stores for the last 100 years. I feel like without black people, this product plummets, and it creates a whole day. If you've ever been sick in school with ginger ale, The Price is Right, soap operas, a pack of saltine crackers,
General
go lay
Hospital.
down. General Hospital.
Definitely General Hospital.
And then reruns.
Oh, and
that was your day.
You know the best. What was the best story? The best. They say soap opera. Days of Our Lives. My grandma used to watch that. Child. These young kids don't know nothing about Days of Our Lives. They don't know. You be all in that story with Victor and them.
If you still remember the characters, you was way too deep in them trenches. Good grief. That show been off the air for like 20 years.
I was definitely in there. I remember Victor. And Victor, to this day, I think Victor's still alive. Victor doesn't look bad to be in his, he gotta be in his 80s, 70s if he's still kicking. I was like, hey, Victor don't look bad. He might have got a little.
My grandmother used to be stressed out over some of them characters and storylines.
And then they had to call their friend from church to talk about it. Like, Geraldine, did you see what happened on Days? Did you see what happened?
I gotta call Esther Ruth.
What she got 2 first names?
That's all they did. All of them did.
Oh snap! Esther Ruth, Mary Ann.
Helen May, you know.
Well, my grandma was Maddie B.
See, they all had two first
Hattie
names.
Business. Yeah.
You didn't have one, especially if they came from the South.
Oh yeah, she's from the South.
You can't be a black woman from the South in the early
One
part
name?
of the 20th century without having two names. It just didn't fly.
You weren't certified if you only had one name.
Your middle name was May Ann Dean Lee
Gertrude.
Gertrude.
Mm-hmm. That's my other grandma. My great grandma. Grandma Gertrude.
Mm-hmm. Okay, May, go ahead with yours.
So mine I actually have a backstory to this, right? Because I think I was like 4 or 5. This product went double platinum for my grandma. This is Skin So Soft. Now, y'all may not know what Skin So Soft does. Basically, it's to put in the bathtub, and it made your skin so soft, pun intended, right? So I think I was like 3 or 4 years old, and my grandma, for those who don't know about Avon products, that's also going back to the 90s. All grandmas, I don't care where your grandma was from, she had Avon stuff. Avon and Mary Kay. Skin So Soft was in that bottle I just showed, but it was very greasy. It was like almost like an olive oil type texture, really greasy. So I decided I was gonna put Skin So Soft in my hair to wash my hair. I thought I was helping my mother. So I take the whole bottle of Skin So Soft. I remember doing this. I take the whole bottle, I squeeze it, and it's just like dripping like honey in my scalp. I take it, I massage it in my scalp. I hear my mom call my name. I go to the stairs. She's on the bottom. She's on the second floor. I'm on the top floor. And she goes, "Why are you so greasy?" I wish there was a video back then because you could have recorded it. I'm standing there. It's coming down my face, bro. It's honey down. And I said, "Mommy, I washed my hair." She said, "What do you mean you washed your hair?" And I had the bottle in my hand. I was like, "With this?" That's not shampoo. My mom said I smelled like, bruh, I smelled like Skin So Soft for probably the following like 90 days. Like the scent was that strong and that potent, and I put that much that I had that scent on me for weeks. And my skin, listen, my hair was, I didn't need any oil, no products. My hair was like, I had a slick back, ponytail for the next 2 weeks. But I remember that. And my grandma, when she found out, she was like, she really poured the whole bottle. And I think that bottle back then was like probably $2 or $3. But $2 or $3 in the 90s was a lot of money. Y'all don't know that, but it was. Yeah, Skin So Soft was the jam.
Yeah, I definitely. I don't remember if my grandmother actually had that, but I definitely remember seeing them in the stores quite a bit. I don't think you can find them joints no more. I haven't seen them joints in the stores.
You probably, if you found it, it would probably be someone reselling it from years ago. I wouldn't use it because it's probably expired. It's probably toxic.
Probably dust at this point.
Oh yeah, but I'm telling you, you put that Skin So Soft on after you put it in the tub, you glistening, glazed donut everywhere, just pretty and just
get out. If you don't get your Krispy Kreme head.
I wish I had the Krispy Kreme.
Oh man, how'd you put that picture? I got one for y'all. How'd you put that picture up in the middle?
I just did share screen.
Oh, dang! All right,
and
I was about to say I got to figure out how to do that. Hold on.
I could do another one.
No, that's okay. I got it.
I got it. Okay, while we wait, have you tried the Popeye strawberry biscuit?
I have not yet.
I might go get one.
I have not yet.
I'm scared to go get it because I feel like I'm gonna get addicted to it, and then it's gonna cause a problem. Oh snap!
Wow!
Oh,
I'm about to hit something with this right now. Look, if there was ever a product that single-handedly described a black grandmother, it's Crisco. And I'm actually mad at this picture. I couldn't find the picture that I really wanted. Because if this was an accurate picture, this would be an open can and it would be sitting on the back left-hand corner of the stovetop.
Had to be on the left. Couldn't be on the right. It was only on the left.
It was always on the left. You knew if it moved to the back right, you knew that she was really cooking up something that day. She needed extra space.
If it moved, you knew she was about to make something.
She was definitely about to make something. It was never in the front. It couldn't be in the front. It had to be in the back.
Mm-hmm.
And this
it had to have a little residue on the side. If it was no residue, she didn't know what she was doing.
It had to be you had to have at least like 4 or 5 drips just coming down the side of the can that
That's
never
hard.
quite hit the bottom. They never quite hit the bottom. They always got hard right before they got.
Oh, stupid.
We talking about platinum. This is triple platinum, quadruple platinum,
triple wood.
5 times platinum. I don't even remember what the 5 is, but it's 5 times platinum.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is in every house. If your grandmother didn't have a can of this on the stove, I feel bad for you because that means your grandmother couldn't cook, which means most likely your mother didn't cook either, which means most likely nobody's cooking for you now.
Which means you hungry right now as we talking.
You hungry right now as we talk.
You order a DoorDash at this very moment because you have no solutions for yourself for what you're going to eat for dinner tonight.
This is it. I feel like we can close the show right here, but let the show
that brings
go
back
on.
memories, man. I'm like, dang, bro, like that was way back in the day.
That's it.
Now I got one. Hold on now, because I gotta find the right size one.
That's what she said.
I feel like I feel like you said, I feel like those people that, which I know there are people that their grannies, weren't like inclined as far as like cooking. Well, sorry for them people, bro, because I feel like your grandma's food always hit the best. Like, I don't know how to describe. Like, my mom and my grandma could cook, but it was something about like your grandma making you breakfast or your grandma making, your lunch or like dinner. It was just like you could just taste the love like in the food. I don't know how to describe it. And both my grannies are already with the Lord, so I can't even. Mine too. I can't even be calling and be like, "Yo, can you make me some boom boom boom?" So
we're getting old now.
Man, listen, I'm getting better. Okay, it's giving very much getting better. Seasoned. This right here.
Oh man, that was on my list.
Let me tell you something.
Oh, man, I was about to kill him with that.
I beat you to it. When I saw this, as I'm looking for this picture, I'm finding out that they have it online. I'm ordering 2 pounds of these and I'm passing them out to everybody that I see. Because if you didn't experience the strawberry candy, your life was not lit. I don't care what you say. It's better than butterscotch because all grandmas had butterscotch candy. This is better than butterscotch. I don't care what nobody says.
You stepping on all my points now.
Nah.
We should have had this discussion beforehand.
We should have, but it is what it is. We in the field now. We can't go back. Butterscotch candy, peppermints ain't have nothing on the strawberry candy. Let me tell you why. You ever been to church? You didn't get to eat breakfast. Y'all was rushing. You hungry? You like, Grandma, I'm hungry. My grandma, she kept her valuables up here in the bosom. So she'll slide in there, pull it out. She'll have a tissue wrapped around whatever her money. She'll have it wrapped up in a handkerchief. She'll pull out 2 of these strawberry candies, pass me and my sister. Let me tell you something. That whole 2.5 hour service, because back in the 90s, church was long. Now I feel like church is shorter. 90s kids, we was in church all afternoon.
All day long.
It was no streaming church. You had to go in there, wear white stockings, had to wear dress. It was the whole thing. But this candy, I can taste it by looking at it. That's how good this candy is, bro. And the funny thing was, you only saw your grandma. I never saw, like, if you saw a kid with it, an older person gave it to them. You never just saw it out, but it was always in a dish at my granny's house. She had a butterscotch and she had strawberry candy, dog. It was good.
All right, I'm about to get a little nuanced with mine.
Okay.
Because I know for a fact that my grandmother had 1 million of these around the house.
Okay.
And everybody watching at home, your grandmother might have either had this or any other variation. Well, I mean, I'll tell you what I mean by that in a second. But you knew you was at a grandmother's house when you got hit with the crystal elephants. Okay, she had the crystal elephants. They could be crystal, porcelain, glass, whatever. She had little animal trinkets, little knickknacks all over the house just for decoration.
Right.
And I said you could have different variations because your grandmother might have had a different favorite animal. My grandmother's favorite animal was an elephant for some reason. They was in the living room. They was on top of the fireplace. They was in the dining room. They was all over the house. Okay.
The windowsill.
And you couldn't touch them. You couldn't touch them. If you accidentally broke one of these, woo! Listen, you might not make it to your next birthday. All right, you want to talk about platinum? I won't call these a diamond because I'm not sure how many grandmothers really did have. I know quite a few people have told me that their grandmother had little knickknacks like this around the house, but it was platinum in my grandmother's house. I remember lots of trips up to Connecticut. Well, every time we go visit, the first thing I look for, like, how them elephants doing? She had them in different colors, different sizes, whatever. You would have thought she was a Delta. It wasn't even a Delta. This is how I knew I was at my grandmother's house right here. This and the can of Crisco was I was like, okay, I'm home. This is it.
That's exactly what you do. You know what? I'm in a safe place, and I am very much I'm very much comfortable here, and I know nothing bad is gonna ever happen to me because
I'm safe and protected.
I'm safe and
The
protected.
elephants watching.
The elephants keeping watch. Oh snap, dog! No, that brings back memories because I feel like, and I don't know if it's just a black thing. I feel like especially black women, elephant is my favorite animal, personally. Elephants and sharks, but elephants are definitely like the top tier black auntie, black mom. Like you'll see the elephant pictures of Africa. You know, everything was like developed around that. For me, my next one, it might be a little controversial. But I won't say it was gonna be controversial. I'm gonna just show y'all, and I'll let y'all choose whatever. This right here, when I say my grandma kept Tums in several rooms in her house, to this day I'm like, yo, my granny had acid reflux and I didn't even know it. I used to be like, why she keep eating these? And I remember the first time I tasted a Tum. When you're a kid, everything that's colorful is candy. So I was like, oh, dang, grandma got some candy. Bruh, I put 3 of them in my mouth. The chalkiest, nastiest. And the Tums, like this packaging is this is like the new Tums of right now. The old Tums didn't have the little, how this top pops up, but it's got the plastic. No, you had to take the top off and you had to shake them out. And the dust, the chalk was like extra chalky. The flavor, I've had the new Tums, the flavor is not the same. In the 90s, you took one Tum, you was good for like 2 weeks. You didn't need more than one. But my grandma used to pop these all the time. And I used to be like, dang, we tearing these joints up. I wonder what it does. And then as I got older, I was like, yo, granny had acid reflux, bro. Like she was really struggling. And I was just thinking she was just enjoying herself by having the but yeah, man, this definitely, she definitely dropped some cake on this. Definitely. She had them in her purse, she had them in her bathroom, there was ones downstairs in her car. And you would see like random straggler Tums that fell out of her pocket or her purse that was just on the floor, like in the car that you had to throw away. You was like, why is there a Tum laying on the passenger seat? Like, I just throw that on the floor. That must have fallen by accident.
I don't really remember my grandmother having Tums all over the house like that. I don't
really.
I mean, she might have had Tums, but I don't remember that one. That's the first one I feel like doesn't really resonate with me. I feel like my mother had more Tums than my grandmother did.
For real. So your mom had the acid reflux.
I mean, I don't remember if it was for her or my dad. It could have been either one of them.
Yeah, and depending on what they were eating too, because I think it was certain, soul food to give you that. Depending on how much, black people we season our food.
Well, here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's me. I feel like grandmothers. I don't remember them making a whole lot of because when you think about it, what's one of the number one things that like gives you like heartburn or acid reflux? When you think of like
spicy food.
When you think of like acidic.
I can't think of it. I don't know.
Pasta, like tomato sauce.
Pasta,
you know what I'm saying? I don't remember. Maybe it's me. I don't remember grandmothers making a lot. I feel like our mothers in that generation made a whole lot more pasta and stuff like that, and Italian food than our grandmothers did.
Yeah, because my mom spaghetti was like one of the top tier meals.
Yeah, if this episode was about items going platinum in our parents' household, pasta sauce might have been up. Spaghetti sauce would have been right up there.
It was Prego,
Ragu and Prego. One of them.
Prego's better. Ragu's trash. Sorry.
Listen,
to my taste buds, I don't like.
All right, I'm about to kill him with this one. What you
got?
Okay, this might be a little niche. My grandmother was old school. We're talking about old school here, right? And some of y'all I know watching this going to identify with it. Some of y'all might not. Some of y'all might have young grandmothers that might have been too young for this part right here. You know what I'm saying? But if you had one of them old school grandmothers, you know exactly what this is when I hit this picture. Don't pay attention to the table. This picture is not about the table, nor is it about the couch. This picture right here is about that rug. And when we talking about rug, this ain't just any type of rug, fellas, ladies and gentlemen. This is a shag rug right here. If you had a grandmother like mine that was real old school, you had a shag rug somewhere in her house. And you could not walk on that if she had just vacuumed that. Woo, that was the quickest way to get your butt tore up. You could not, if she just vacuumed that rug when y'all come to visit, you could go in any room in the house but that room. Because she was real particular about the way that she vacuumed. All of it had to be vacuumed the exact same way. All the shag particles had to be laying down the exact same way. Almost like hair, just like
it was like the ocean, like the waves had to go this way, the shore went that way.
If she came in that room and there was a line of it going the other way, oh, she turned somebody up. This is about that rug. Any of y'all real old grandmothers, I know y'all can relate to this. Anybody who if y'all was having kids like real young, all your generations, if y'all was having kids. If all y'all was teen mothers or real early 20 mothers and your grandmother was only like 40 by the time you was in middle school or something, you ain't gonna know about this. This is for the real old grandmothers. You know what I'm saying? These are for the people, you got to be born in like the 40s or older for this. Maybe your great grandmothers or great grandmothers for some of y'all younger folks.
Yeah.
But this is old school right here. That shag rug, platinum.
Triple platinum.
Triple platinum. And my
that shag rug is like J. Cole level goated. In grandma's house. Oh, can I admit to something about the shag rug?
Ooh, go ahead.
I have 2 in my room right now.
Oh Lord. Y'all not gonna understand why I find this so funny. But I joke with Mickey all the time about her being an old lady. She's literally like a 30-year-old, 70-year-old. I
have an old soul. This is true. This is very true.
She is an old lady wrapped in a young woman's body. That's it.
Listen, man. Because I hung around my granny so much. Like I feel like, especially if you spend a lot of time with your parents, of course, if you grew up with them, but like your grandparents, that old school spirit, that like how they say kids have an old soul, I most definitely have that. Like certain sayings she would say, certain old people slang that she used. Like I say britches. To this day I say britches because my grandma said
my grandmother said britches.
Yes, and she put your britches up. and hind parts. Sit your hind parts down. And when I grew up, I was like, what the hell is hind part? When she was saying hind parts, but she was from the South and she was country. So it was hind parts. Sit your hind parts down somewhere. And it was sat down. What's a sit down? It was sat down. It was past. It was past she wanted, she, she wanted you to do it on the other side of it. But I feel like shag rugs are back in style. They're definitely back in style. I'm not even gonna say that. I feel like they are. Because if you go to Marshall, TJ Maxx, they're everywhere. Like
really?
Yes. And if for people especially for women that's watching, they might have one too. Mine is white, and you cannot stand on it. I don't put that's like slippers or barefoot only, and you can't stand on it with your outside shoes. I don't wear my.
See, look, just like a grandmother, just like a grandmother.
Step on that rug if you want to. Your grandma hit you. She didn't have to tell you what it was. You already knew. Let me get. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. All right. So my next one is something I feel like everybody, if you haven't seen it before, you might remember it, or you might even have seen it now. My grandma had 1,000 of these things. They used to sort of creep me out. I don't know if you've ever seen Tales from the Hood.
Oh man!
Oh my gosh! The little nigglets.
Oh man!
The little niglet people.
The little nigglets.
The little nigglets. Shout out Jesse, because Jesse called them nigglets. But my grandma had hundreds of these. My aunt still has some of them. She has all of them now, like, since she passed. But it was the husband and wife. It would be the little girl at the well. It would be one of them praying. Everything, was religious, was Christian. One of them praying. You had one of Jesus just chilling. Jesus and Peter like posted up. Throwing up the Hebrew, like, yeah, we out here on the Sabbath, getting busy.
One of them, for some reason, had a musical instrument, like a saxophone or a trumpet.
Like, why Jesus got a harmonica? That's odd. I didn't know Jesus was in a blues band. But this brings back so many memories, and I found them creepy when I was a kid because I used to be like, are they looking at you? Because sometimes, especially, in the dark, I don't know what it was about the dark as a kid. Stuff would play, your eyes would play tricks on you, and you feel like you seeing something that's not really there. And even now as an adult, sometimes I'm like, yo, what's that? I'm like, oh, that's just a chair. But like as a kid, you come to your grandma's house, you walking around, and the light come on, and you see these little things just looking at you. You're like, oh, shit. They might jump out at you. But these figurines, man, triple, like Kendrick Lamar level in my grandma's house. And I love them to this day. I don't have any. This I don't have. I'm not this old yet.
Yeah.
I'm not this old yet. But
one day, our generation doesn't do the knickknacks as much as older generations did. We don't. Our generation doesn't do it as much.
Oh well, I think I don't know, because I have elephants. I don't have a crystal elephant.
You're an old lady.
It's not crystal though; it's silver.
Yeah, but you got a shag rug.
Yeah, but it holds my good.
She got a shag rug, silver elephants, and an updo. Like Mickey is clearly from a throwback from another time.
She bought the cash Social Security check right now.
She was getting AARP letters at 15 years old.
I only pay $6 max when I go to Denny's with tip.
All her first dates are early bird specials.
I go to sleep at 3:30.
Other people at the movie theater that work the afternoon shift know Mickey by first name.
I go walk in the mall on my early days. 6 a.m. I'm in the mall walking with my Skechers on, my pump it ups.
Mickey spent a whole commission check on Skechers.
the platform ones too. Gotta be the thick sole, the thick fat booty shoes.
or the no name sneakers that had the straps on them, like orthopedic.
I was about to say that's one of them too. That's definitely one of the top.
We should have put them on there. Hell yeah.
Yeah, we should have put those. My grandma had those.
I'm about to tear y'all up with this next one right here. I'm about to tear y'all up.
It down.
This is about to be. I will say, as a disclaimer, if you're part of Gen Z and you wasn't like around, even if you was born in the late 90s, but you wasn't like, you don't remember the 90s, you wasn't living through the 90s, you got to be a millennial or older, I feel like, to really resonate with this. And if you're part of Gen Z, this one ain't for you. You can skip over this one, wait till the next one. If you're a millennial or older and you was alive in the 90s or even the 80s, you gonna remember this one right here. This one was in all our grandparents' house. Some of our parents too. Hell, I even drank some of them just because I thought they tasted good when I saw them in my grandmother's fridge. Bow. The old school cans. These
You found the old school cans? I haven't even seen these. I didn't even think they would have a picture of this. Wow.
Throwback for this one, baby. I was
big throwback. That's the can that you had to.
Yep. You had to pull
wait,
it.
Listen.
This ain't no bottles. Okay, we're not talking about the newfangled bottles with the twist offs. Okay, we talking about the aluminum cans.
Mm-hmm.
You had to buy them in the little paper packages.
Cut your lip all up.
My grandmother used to drink these things like they was water, and then wonder why she wasn't losing weight.
It was hella sugar in them too. I always wondered, like, what was the marketing behind this? Because there was a lot of sugar in those, but
they were supposed to be meal replacements. See, what they didn't tell you were supposed to drink this and just this, like this was
and not eat.
This was supposed to be your diet. You're supposed to drink the Slim Fast and not have a meal. This is supposed to replace the meal. But everybody, the black grandmothers and everything, they would have this with their dinner, with their lunch, whatever, and then wonder why they wasn't losing.
Definitely with dinner. I definitely feel like I saw my grandma pop it open with like some butter beans and some fried chicken.
As a little kid, I mean, these things, honestly, if you've ever had one of these, they basically taste like milkshakes. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
As a little kid, when I saw them, when I opened the door in my grandmother's fridge, I saw vanilla, strawberry, chocolate, all that stuff. I was happy as hell. I drank so many of these. I would run to her room all the time. Can I have one of your Slim Fast? And I was skinny as a little kid. I wasn't even fat like I am now.
I feel like we was all like real like in shape and slim, and then life happened, and it was just like obesity. Just like
overnight.
High blood pressure, diabetes on your back right now.
Good grief! Wait a minute.
No, I'm saying like everything just hit at one time. Like, damn, why my back so big? Because you got a.
This is it right here. If you in Gen Z and you in this picture resonates with you, I'd be completely surprised. This is for the millennials and older right here.
Oh yeah.
This ain't quite diamond, but this is for sure platinum. This is definitely platinum right here.
I think it's diamond. I don't care. I think it's diamond. I seen that thing a lot.
This was in one of my grandmother's house. I can't call it diamond because my other grandma, I never saw these in my other grandmother's house.
Oh, because both grandmas had to be on the same page about the right. I don't think I ever saw my dad's mom, my grandma ever drink something fast. But she might have though. She might have popped it in the morning and then throughout the day followed the rules and not ate it. No. So this one is something that you still see now, but back in the day when it was like the bee's knees, because you couldn't get, I feel like everything now, which is good, but also sometimes it makes things hard to appreciate. Everything is on our phones. You can use the Bible app on your phone. You can watch, TV. Everything's on your phone. Back in the day, you had to have the actual Bible and go through it and bookmark and take your notes. And my grandma had every series of Our Daily Bread. She kept all of them, even if they got wet, they was crinkled up. It didn't matter. Don't throw her Our Daily Bread books away. She would read it. She would go through it. And if your grandma was elite, like my grandma, she had certain pages open with the flaps down. So when you came in the house, when you sat on the couch, you would read like, okay, this is the word for that. Okay, that she wanted you to get you was gonna get the word at grandma's house. Both my grandmas.
Oh yeah.
You was gonna get it. You was gonna love the Lord whether you wanted to, intentionally, inadvertently, or intentionally. You and Jesus was gonna have some type of connection.
You was gonna get you some Jesus.
You was gonna get you some Jesus, and you was gonna hear some gospel too. I listen, and this is old school gospel that Holland and I personally, I'm like you say, I'm old soul. I like old school gospel better than new school gospel. That's just me.
I think I'm more partial to the new school gospel myself.
And it's not all new school gospel. When I say new, I feel and I'm kind of probably like behind because I don't listen to, I'm not gonna lie, like I listen to gospel like that. I don't, not now. But like, you know, your Ty Tribbett, Fred Hammond, like, yeah, like those was cool, but like I've heard gospel where I'm like, this don't slap like the grandma singing the Mississippi Mass Choir. You can't tell me you hear that and it just don't make, it's just a different.
Okay, but here's the thing about that gospel. That gospel was great to hear in person, like them choirs in person, but you couldn't throw that on a CD and just have it playing. It wasn't gonna hit.
Yeah, you could.
For me, I didn't like it when it was like I didn't like listening to that like in the house. I didn't like. That's why I say I prefer new school gospel. New school gospel you can throw on in the car or in the house, and it still hit like regular music. You know, that old school gospel before they, you know, when they was purposely trying not to be secular. You know what I mean? When it was a bad thing to try to sound like regular music, like that old school gospel. I didn't really like hearing like that, like just, you know, from like a record or a CD or something like that. You had to hear that in person to really appreciate it, at least for me.
Yeah, I can see that because I think too what also made it differentiated was like the old school gospel songs. Them just was like 90 minutes long. One track was like 17 minutes. Because you had the intro, and then you had the people in the choir going, keep going. And then the drummer bring the beat back.
You had the intro, you had 4 verses, you had a bridge, you had an outro. And if he was in a real black church, if it was the first or last song, you had the processional where the choir had to walk in with the little side 2 steps going on, or they walk back.
Oh, not the processional. Oh, I miss those days, man.
Yeah, see, y'all niggas don't know about the processional.
They don't know about that. They don't know about the walk-in. Because see, back then you didn't see the choir before they sang. They made an entrance. They came in. They was in the back room, and they had a green room in our church, and the the green room was connected to where you couldn't see where they was coming out of, and they all had to
they came through the aisle. They came through the pews.
Came through the aisle. Came through the pews, and the pews were wooden.
Oh yeah. You ain't getting no comfortable seats. You can't go to sleep in there. You gonna be you waking up. You gonna get that work.
Go to sleep in a wooden pew. You gonna wake up. You gonna need a chiropractor and a new back.
Man, listen.
You gonna need a bacchiotomy. You go to sleep in a wooden pew.
Most churches these days don't even have a choir. They just have a praise and worship team.
A choir was like 12 people minimum.
I was about to say it'd just be like 4 or 5 niggas walking up on stage, one of them with a guitar. That's it. That's all they get.
No entrance. No entrance. No. And I'm not knocking it, but it was just different. It was a different. It was a whole different
vibe. Don't get me wrong. It's still church. You know what I'm saying? You got somebody on the piano, somebody with a guitar, and then 4 people singing. That's what you got now. And some of them are great at what they do. Don't get me wrong. But it ain't gonna hit like them Sister like May, Sister Hayes, Sister
with the French roll. Remember talking about the French roll?
See? It ain't gonna hit like that. When they came in robes.
Yes.
When they came in robes, they don't got robes no more.
The robes had to cover that. When I say your whole body was covered, the robe came all the way up here. And it had the collar.
Their hands and their shoes.
And the collar was so far up. They could barely see. And don't let it be summertime and to be a hot church with no central air. I know they were sweating. I know they were sweating for the Lord. Because I was hot in the pew, so I know it was hot on that wooden pew with no AC and the windows cracked.
All right, y'all. Listen, the time has come. I gotta bust it out. Because we're not gonna be sitting here talking about grandmothers, and we're not gonna be sitting here talking about church.
Mm-hmm.
If you've ever been hungry in church and your grandmother reached up in that purse, Mickey can lie and say everything that she wants to. Talk about the strawberry candy, which was great. But the top seller is going to be that butterscotch, baby. It's going to be that butterscotch, baby. If you've ever had, look, the strawberry candy is platinum. This is quadruple platinum, okay? This is diamond. If you've ever been hungry in church and your grandmother didn't give you a handful of butterscotch candies with no label on it, I don't even know where you find these. I don't even know. In 30 plus years of life in my black body on this earth, I still don't know who makes these candies. I don't even know what company makes these candies. I've never seen a brand of these candies. It's just yellow. It's just gold. It's just gold. Butterscotch gold wrapper candies. I ain't never seen no label. And if you tell me the label, you lying. I know none of y'all seen a label for this. And they're delicious. Those are the most scrumptious old people candy you ever had in your life with no daggone name. Show me another candy that ain't got no name.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know.
Like
I feel like you got to be a grandmother in order to legally purchase these. I feel like you cannot purchase these unless you are 55 or older. I feel like when you hit your 55-year-old birthday, somebody comes out of a back alley and says, here's your pass to buy the gold butterscotch. You can't tell me ain't nothing topping these when it comes to old people candy. Every grandma in America got this candy in her purse right now, tasting like sweat and old peppermint.
Yeah, I was gonna say it tastes like sweat because it's been sitting on the boob beat all day. And the packaging is halfway melted through because her body heat mixed with the black.
It be getting thinner and thinner, just mad flat. The outside be sticky for how long it been in that purse. Lipstick all on the outside cover. Tell me I'm lying.
But you still ate it though.
Drop.
Still ate it though.
That's it. I don't know how you gonna top that.
Hey, listen, man. I'm not even gonna disagree with you and say that's because okay, this is my thing with butterscotch. To me, I love strawberries, right? Strawberry is one of my favorite fruits. So the strawberry candy slaps so hard because to me, it gave me that sense of like, oh, I'm having some fruit, but I'm getting that flavor, but the flavor is hitting me and I'm feeling like I'm full. Butterscotch did the same thing. Butterscotch was definitely sweeter, of course, but you can't lie and say the butterscotch didn't slap. So I'm not gonna disagree with you because the butterscotch definitely was hit. It was hit.
If I walk in somebody's house right now and they got a bowl of them butterscotch candies, I'm going ham. I'm tearing them joints.
You gonna eat that potato salad, ain't you? Like, you know what? It's safe to eat here.
Listen, to this day, I'm eating that butterscotch.
I agree with you that you couldn't buy butterscotch unless you were 55 plus, because you never saw anybody younger than maybe late 40s. Because back then when we were kids, 40 was like senior citizen to us. Like now that we're older, like, you know, you're like, oh, your 40's not old. But back then, if you was 40, it was like, damn, bro, you about to die in like 2 years. Because it just seems so old. But I say that to say my mother's a grandma and she has an abundance of butterscotch and peppermint at all times, and she keeps them in her purse.
They know where to buy them. It's a store that only they can see.
And look,
it's invisible.
When you take them out, she don't never show you the packaging. It just appears. It's never in the packaging. It's always just
never
out.
In the package. They're always loose.
It's always loose.
They don't come in a package.
No. If you see it in the package, they probably got to kill you because it's like you can't know.
You're not allowed to know.
You're not allowed to know where I got this from. That's
why I think whoever wrote the book of Narnia was based on the store that they bought this candy from. These things come from Narnia. I'm convinced. You got to be 55 years old and black to buy these candies. There's like a secret closet or something you open up and be like, oh, here's the store where I buy all the strawberry candies and butterscotch and day old peppermints. Like that's only where they buy them.
Oh, did you say Narnia? Shut up, yo. That's one of my favorite books from my childhood. Well, Narnia was like that. All right, so my final one. I actually just saw this yesterday at my auntie's house. But I feel like it's probably in your grandma's house if you're blessed to still have your grandma or your grandpa or your grandparents. It's probably still in there right now. Every black grandma had a picture of Black Jesus. Jesus had the best. Jesus had the fresh retwist. He had the perfect beard. Like,
why Jesus got dreadlocks?
Because he had hair like wool. That's what they said about. We all know Jesus was black. We're not even gonna debate that. But I feel like this picture of Black Jesus was so iconic because when you saw it, you was like, oh, so he looked like me. But then you will also see, the picture of white Jesus where he just looking up, like he just looking up at the thing. Because my grandma had both. She had the white Jesus, she had the black one. But at my auntie's house yesterday, I literally just saw this up on the wall, and I said I gotta add it to the list. And it's at the top. It's above the, you had the top cabinets. It's above that. Jesus is at the tippity top.
Good
But
grief.
every and of course it's subjective, but now these black grandmas, majority of them was Christians, and when I tell you, don't nobody love Jesus like your grandma. Nobody. You may think you love him now, but your grandma and Jesus was like this, and she called on him. Especially my granny, they called on him. Jesus was like a cousin, because I was like, dang, how many times a day you gonna thank him? Is he listening? Thank you, Lord. Thank you for the oranges.
If you didn't have a Jesus loving grandmother, you ain't living right now.
Listen,
you ain't living right. That's prayers, what you need.
Those prayers, man.
That's what these Gen Z kids are missing. They need a Jesus loving grandmother.
Listen, I ain't gonna say you wrong. And listen, even if they do at this time throughout the day, this is another ode to being older. They say when you get past your 30s, you just make random noises, like you just just like just
when you're getting up from the chair.
I say, oh Jesus, at least 3 times. I'm like, oh, thank you, Father. When I'm sitting down, I do it all day. And now that I'm conscious of it, I'm like, bro, I'm getting older. Like, I'm like my grandma now. I'll sit down and eat a sandwich. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Oh, the sandwich. Oh, thank you, Father.
There's power in the name of Jesus.
Ain't he good?
There's power in the name of Jesus.
Yes, it is. 100%.
Listen, I don't know how I keep outdoing myself every time I feel like. And these I think is just right in line with it. Just keeping with the pattern. Every time I hit y'all with one, I'm coming with haymakers today. Ain't nothing but haymakers. Ain't nothing that I threw out here ain't land like a Tyson punch. And this right here is no exception. About to hit y'all with one. If your grandmother didn't have this pack right here, then she had a plastic jar or a plastic container that she put these in when she took them out. Bow. Go ahead and lie right now and tell me one of your grandmothers didn't keep a pack of these on deck.
My grandma loved it.
On deck, nigga. Bow. Haymaker.
Oh my gosh, yo. I forgot about Fig Newtons.
Nobody buys these no more.
They don't.
You had this. Listen.
Oh, that brings back memories, bro.
You got to be at least 2-3 generations deep to buy these.
Just like the butterscotch, you can't get them. You can't just
but at least these in the store. You at least see these in the store. You just don't buy them. You don't dare buy them until you reach the grandmother age.
I don't even think the packaging is like this anymore. I don't.
I got the old school package.
Okay, I think this is the 90s packaging.
When I'm coming with the stuff that we gonna remember.
Got you. Okay, you coming
the new school Fig Newton packages. They don't look like this. They don't look the same. They don't hit right. I wanted the ones that like, oh, that yellow pack. The yellow pack right here. My grandmother had like 3 plastic cookie jars at all times. One of them had candy in it. I don't remember what was in the second one, but one of them always had these Fig Newtons in there. Always had Fig Newtons. Every time I go to her house, I go right to the kitchen counter. Hey, grandma. Then go right to the kitchen counter because you got to speak when you walk in the room. You say, hey, grandma. And then you go and right to the kitchen.
You walk in the black grandma's house with no speed and walk around and peruse around her house. It's the quickest way to get. Who you think you at?
Yep. You say, hey, and then go get yourself a Fig Newton right out that jar. This is grandma right here. If I listen, these are so synonymous with black grandmothers. I'm surprised Tyler Perry made a movie about them yet. I'm coming. I'm coming strong today. If I don't know what a black grandmother is, don't nobody do. This is it right here.
Oh my God.
This is it. I don't know how everybody's gonna top that.
I don't know, man. I'm low key like my next choice I might have to nah. Cause
I dare somebody to try to out grandma me.
You called me 100%. You called me 100% on guard with that because I have a Fig Newton origin story. My grandma used to love Fig Newtons. My grandpa liked Fig Newtons. My grandma gave me one. You know, you kid, you want to taste everything you see your parents, grandparents eat. I tasted it. I was like, "Ooh, it's kind of sweet, but it's kind of bitter." And then as you get to chewing and it's soft, I was like, "These joints." I'm like, "Grandma, let me get 2 of those to go before I leave, before I head back home." Oh man, yeah, fig Newtons were actually, to me, they tasted good. A lot of kids didn't like them. They said they were nasty. I thought they were delicious.
Mm-hmm.
They were delicious to me. Now
I wouldn't
go out now and buy like 100 of them, but I'd go get a pack just to, But see, the taste, to me, I don't know if you agree with that. The taste of stuff now versus in the 90s, stuff doesn't taste the same.
It ain't the same.
It doesn't taste the same.
They changed the ingredients up. I agree with you.
Yeah, it's like certain cereals don't taste the same, certain candy, and it could also be, not to say that of course they're changing ingredients. It could also be our taste buds are different because we're older. But Gushers in the 90s and Gushers now do not taste the same. I don't care what nobody say because I had the Gushers now and I was like, even fruit roll up. I mean,
our taste buds do change a little bit. That's natural over time. Yeah. That's biology. But it's more than that. I feel like there's a lot of ingredients that don't change. You know what I mean? That they're not telling us about. These people change up the recipes all the time. Food just don't hit. Milk ain't the same. Chips ain't the same. Candy ain't the same. I mean, cornbread ain't the same. You know what I mean?
Oh my gosh, cornbread used to slap. What? Cornbread with a little honey? That
and with that said, I know Mickey said that this was her final choice, so we're gonna wrap the episode up. But before we do, I got one more treat for y'all.
Oh Lord!
As an honorable mention, if this ain't platinum in a black grandmother's house, feel free to come over to my house and slap me silly. Because every black grandmother in the history of time has owned one of these. And you've come into their kitchen on a Saturday morning or a Sunday morning and smelled that cornbread, chilling in one of these. And if she's a real old school grandmother, she's threatening your grandfather with one of these as well. What am I talking about? I'll tell you. The cast iron frying pan, aka the cast iron skillet.
A skillet.
They didn't call it a frying pan. If you got an old black grandmother, they called it a skillet. Hand me that skillet right there.
Yeah, give me that black skillet. And you knew what skillet. When she said hand me the skillet, you knew exactly which one she was talking about.
Every black grandmother in the history of time, I don't care how far back in history you want to go. I bet you they had these in Africa. I bet you they had these in Israel. I bet you I bet you on Noah's Ark they had one of these. Okay, the cast iron frying pan is the most black grandmother thing that's ever existed since the dawn of time.
Oh my
And
God.
I would be remiss if we ended this episode with me not giving it a mention. You want to talk about diamond,
God.
triple diamond, quadruple diamond, whatever. If your grandmother didn't own one of these, you didn't have a grandmother. I don't care.
It was just somebody your mama knew.
It was just somebody your mama knew. You didn't have a grandmother. If this wasn't in her house, you didn't have a childhood. You wasn't a grandbaby. It was just wasn't it.
And your food was some booty. Because if she ain't cook you no breakfast, no pancakes, no fried potatoes, in this pan had all the flavor. All the flavor.
Listen, your granddaddy coming there acting up. She gonna hold that in that one. Like, Henry don't play with me.
Wait, what was his name? What'd you say?
I said Henry don't play with me.
Oh, I thought you said Edmund. I was like, yeah, that's an old nigga
some
name.
old black name. Cletus.
Edmund. Cletus. Cornelius. That was my grandfather's name.
Wilbur.
Cleotis.
Whatever. Marvin.
Rufus.
Marcellus.
Marcellus. That's old nigga names. We could do old nigga names episode.
Willie Earl.
Had to have a Willie. Had an Uncle Willie.
You gotta have a Willie Earl.
Had to have a Willie.
This is it.
Oh my God, bro. And you know what's funny? My sister has two of those.
Yeah.
Cause she be cooking to that.
I was about to say, if your girlfriend or your wife at home, if she don't know how to cook, she got one of those. I bet you.
She ain't got one.
She
better get one.
You know, she bullishing.
I wouldn't eat no breakfast out of nothing but that when I was little. If I ain't see that black pan, I was like, who made that? Nah, I don't want that.
If you're in a relationship right now and your girl has convinced you that she can cook and you've never seen one of these in her kitchen, she's lying to you, bro. It's the fake and bake. When you're not looking, she's ordering the food. I'm telling you, it's got to be it. She's not training. She's not a grandmother in training if she ain't got one of these. She's not ready to be a grandmother if she ain't got one of these.
Your kids are going to be at a disadvantage when y'all have them because she ain't got this pan on on deck.
You'll have a whole lot of real skinny kids. I'm telling you.
Oh my gosh. Oh man, that was a good one. You caught me off guard with that one. And when you said threaten, I'm like, threaten? I'm like, dang, what are you gonna threaten?
It all makes sense.
When I saw it, I was like, yeah, definitely.
I feel like once you buy that pan, your elbow get 2 times bigger.
You just get that little elbow, the macaroni elbow cut.
Right over the elbow. The little over flap.
It's like a protective shield.
Yep. It grows as soon as you buy that skillet. As soon as you take it home, the elbows start growing.
I'm really joking. Sorry. Oh snap. This is the final one that we gonna wrap because we can do this all night. If your grandma was on her top game, she had this bottle in her room on that credenza. She didn't have a dresser, she had a credenza. And she had an armoire. How many grandmas had an armoire? Your grandma had an armoire? She was a grandma. And it was big and it was a Chesterfield. It was big and it was bulky, and you never saw her move it. And she just dusted it. You moved that armoire, it was like moving damn Shamu because the thing was just so freaking heavy. This was triple pot. My grandma.
Oh my God.
Okay. I can still smell it right now in my nose. White diamonds is the essential old school 90s, even 80s. I don't even know what year. I think White Diamonds came out in the late 80s or early 90s because it was by Elizabeth Taylor. And I don't know what it was about Elizabeth Taylor, but all black grandmas love Elizabeth Taylor. He just adored her. It was like she was just in the clique. White Diamonds perfume. You could spray this in 1997. You will still smell it in 2023. This perfume is so strong. It literally will choke you up. Like if you do 2 sprays of that, you're gonna either go into like shock or you gonna get somebody a seizure because it was so freaking strong and it lasted weeks. Like my grandma would spray it once, and I'm like, dang, it still smelled like you just sprayed it. It was super strong. It was really like I think it's like sandalwood in it. Some of the scent ingredients. It's very, very strong and potent. Now, if I smelled it, it would remind me of my grandma, but it probably would make me a little nauseous because if you've never smelled it, they have it at Macy's still, I think. Go to Macy's, order some, get you a little sample. You'll be like, damn, if your grandma wore this, she sang in the choir. She cooked on Sunday at the church. She was on the usher board. She had the white shoes. She had the white usher outfit. She had the little usher hat, the little white hat, and she wore white stockings every Sunday. And she had that fan. You had to have a fan. If you ain't had a fan in church, you wasn't doing nothing because you needed that. And the tambourine. She had the tambourine too. All the tambourine, the fan, all of it came with the white diamond. It was a set.
Okay. You know what? I didn't know we were still going. I thought you was done. I was trying to end it on the cast.
I was done. I'm done.
You came out of nowhere with that haymaker. I wasn't ready for the white diamonds. I'm mad at myself for missing that one. That's it.
You brought the frying pan. I was like, I had it written down. I was like, this is gonna be some heat with that frying pan. I was like, damn, that frying pan is universal because everybody didn't like white diamonds. Some people did; it was too strong. But that frying
pan, I was not ready for that. I thought the frying pan was gonna kill him. You know what? Now I can't let you outdo me.
You don't want to let me have a point. You just
I can't do it. You know what?
I got you.
I got something here for you.
Okay.
You think you're just gonna end it?
I was.
It's gonna be a wrap.
I was.
Okay. Well, check this out. Check this out right here. Okay. You want to play? You want to play? You want to play us that? Let's play, Hans. This is it right here. Wait. Hold on.
Now I want to watch Scarface. I watched Scarface for so long.
Oh.
Like hella long. I might watch Scarface.
Oh no, where's it at?
Nah, take your time. I think I might watch Scarface tonight. Whole time when I realized that Al Pacino wasn't Cuban, I was like, this is low key racist.
I was about to say they hired an Italian man to play a Cuban.
But the thing was they embraced them though. So it was like if they was cool with it, who am I to say, and I don't mean racist, of course Al Pacino's not racist, but it's like they was really hiring white people to play roles of people of color, like, hey, you be Native American. Like, no, get somebody that's really indigenous. Why are you hiring? What are you doing?
I don't understand that one.
Like, what?
They threw me for a loop.
Nah, bro. To this day. Whole time it's Easter Sunday this weekend. And I don't know if you watched it as a kid, but the Ten Commandments, I used to always watch it with my mom every Easter. Charleston Heston is white. The Hebrews were not. They were not white people.
They were not. The Hebrews were not white.
My whole life, I'm thinking, Hebrews are white people. They're not. The original were not.
They're not. But that's a great transition because you want to talk about Easter?
Yeah.
I'm coming with the best haymaker I got.
Okay.
I'm coming with all the marbles. This is it. I'm unloading the clip.
Uh-oh.
I'm unloading the clip.
Not the sling back. Ew, that's so ugly.
The Easter kitten heel right here, baby.
Liz Claiborne. That is I don't even think Liz Claiborne still. I had Liz Claiborne jeans. That's how old I am.
Liz Claiborne. You don't even know that name if you're under a certain age.
Mm-mm.
You gotta be older than 30 to know Liz Claiborne.
She had jeans, she had jackets, she had clothes, she had shoes, they had perfume. And I ain't never met Liz a day in my life, but I know her name. If
your grandma, auntie, great grandmother, great aunts, even some older cousins didn't have these shoes, you didn't go to church. Sister Mays, Sister Jenkins, Sister Williams, Sister Hayes, any of them, they was wearing all of these. This is what you saw. God. All you saw under them big rows we talked about earlier was their hands and these heels right here. And they thought they was doing something with them too. That was the thing.
these little kitten heels back in the day, it was like wearing stilettos. It was literally like that, and nobody would believe it. But that little kitten heel back in the 90s was like you was in some red bottoms. You had these on the church. They was like, dang, you see
These are
Miss
8 times
Jenkins?
platinum right here.
And
Right
look,
here.
don't let them have on the white stockings with it. Oh, set it off.
Oh, listen. Once they start catching the Holy Ghost and they start stomping out an hour one of these and kick them off. Woo! Listen, I'm telling you, man, it don't get more black grandmother than this. I couldn't be outdone. I had to come back strong, ladies and gentlemen. I had to come back strong. They bought these at Payless. They bought these at J.C. Penney. They bought these at Montgomery Ward.
I was gonna say Ames.
Ames?
You don't know about Ames? That's a whole nother conversation.
You
don't know about Ames.
You
don't even talk to me. I got shoes older than you. Don't even talk to me, Slim.
Remember Hex?
Hex. Oh snap! Hell yeah!
Oh, that's it. I had to do it.
Damn,
it one time.
Man. This nigga just shitted all on my white diamond.
It's at least 8 times platinum right there. We really appreciate y'all for joining. We love to clown like this. We can do this all day long with episodes. You shoot us topics that you want us to talk about. Shoot us your list for the black grandmother products that went platinum in your house. We want to know what we missed out. Shoot us in the comments some products that we missed out on that you think went platinum in a black grandmother's household, or even your black grandmother's household. We'd love to hear your perspective. I don't think you're gonna beat my list. I think my list is goated.
My list goes too.
But if you can try,
I had some hits in there.
Oh, Mickey had some hits, but I came back like Tyson. I'm just saying. The white diamonds almost had me. She had me in the first half.
He had to get back in the ring with her. He was like, wait, I can't close it like this.
I got something left in the tank.
I'm still standing. I'm still strong.
If you think your list is better than our list, let us know. Tell us in the comments. See if you can beat our list. Other than that, my name is Travis.
I'm Mickey.
Her name is Mickey. We hope you have a great rest of your day and a happy Easter.
Bye-bye.